Hello everybody, and welcome to another Minecraft command block tutorial. Today we're going to be going over this thing here. I'm not really sure what to call it, so I'm just going to call it a block rotator. And it does exactly that. When you click the button here, it just rotates all the blocks around counterclockwise, and so on and so forth. So you're probably asking, what could this be used for? I don't know, let's say you want to secure a door and you have to have the right pattern here to open the door. So you just have to click until you get that correct pattern and the door opens. If you want something a little more secure than that, you could have multiple of these. And maybe you have an adventure map or an escape room and you have these clues here. And these clues will tell you where each color goes, and you'll have to follow the clues. See, red's in that bottom corner there, yellow's here, and blue is there. So you'll just have to click the button until you get it in the right spot, and then the door opens. Another use could be, so you have kind of a complete the circuit sort of thing. So you just have to rotate all the different sections here until you have completed the circuit, just like that. And then when that happens, you can have it do something cool, open a door, play a sound, say you win, or yeah, so a lot of potential in this, and now I'm going to go over the command block setup for it. Okay, so here is the command block setup, and I'll just kind of run through kind of step by step on what exactly it's doing. So what happens when you press the button, it's going to set a redstone block here. So every time I press the button, it activates the device here and rotates the blocks. So this first block here is basically just setting this block to air the moment it gets placed. Then it goes into here. And what this one's doing is it's going to look at this block here and it's going to store it right here for later use. Now, don't ask me why this has to be done. Just take my word for it. It has to be done for this thing to work. Then it's going to go through all these chain commands all the way around here and then end right here. And what those are doing is it's just moving each of these blocks one position counterclockwise until it gets to this last one here, and this one's going to look at this one and place it here. So I'm not sure if that makes sense at all, but for some reason this is just how it has to be for it to work. So I click the button, it places a redstone block here, and it just keeps rotating, and so on and so forth. So the next thing I have here is this block here, and that's just basically playing a sound. So it's the piston extend sound at a little bit of a higher pitch. So there's a sound when everything rotates. Then here are the blocks that are monitoring whether I have my pattern correct or not. This first one here is basically looking, is an execute command, and it's looking at basically this square here and saying, is my square right here? Does it match the square right here? If it does, it places a redstone block here. And then this one here is saying, is my square here not matching this square here? And if it's not, if it's not matching, it changes this block here to air. So as you can see, I can push our button until they match. So this square here matches this square here, and therefore it places a redstone block there. Then if I click it again, it goes away because now they're no longer matched. And then this is the block that opens our door, or it can do whatever you want it to do. So let me think. Is there anything else? I think that's about it in terms of the basic setup. Um, I have it set up this way. So let's say you wanted to kind of change the pattern. You didn't want it to be this pattern. You could just simply change it right here to what you want it to be, and that's all you would have to do. And you wouldn't have to update anything else but that. So yeah, that is the basic setup. And now I'm going to go over a step-by-step tutorial on how to set this up. Okay, so the first thing you're going to want to do is make sure you're facing west. This setup uses a lot of relative coordinates in the commands, so it'll only work if you're facing west when you set this up. So next, you're just going to want to set up your square, and you can use any blocks you want. I'm just going to use some concrete blocks here for my square. We'll just do that, something simple like that. Then you're going to want to give yourself a command block, just like that. Okay, and then the first command block is going to need to go, let's see here, where does that go? Right here. And you're going to want to make sure the arrow is pointing that way. And that's going to be the one that changes our redstone block that gets placed here into air. So the next, we're going to set one here and change that to always active in chain. And we can copy that. And then our next one, let's see here, is going to go this way. So our arrow is pointing this way, and another one pointing that way, and then pointing up, yep, and pointing up, and then pointing off this way, and then down and down. So basically, when this gets placed, when the redstone block gets placed here, it's going to shoot through here all the way around and run each command. Now I've included all the commands in order, starting here and moving throughout the whole line here. I've included those commands in the description, so take some time to copy and paste those in each one of these command blocks, and then I'll pick up the tutorial from there. So feel free to pause the video and then continue once you have all the commands entered into these command blocks. Okay, so by now you should have all the commands entered in each of the command blocks as they go around here. So now we can test this out. And one thing I forgot to mention is this block here, whatever this is, you want to make sure it's the same block right here. Otherwise it won't work. So now let's take our redstone block and look at that. It works great. One thing we can do is take our other command block here, which plays a sound, place that right there so it gets triggered when the redstone block hits, and that works now too. So now what we need to do is determine what do we want our square to be, or basically the correct pattern to be. So let's say we just want it to be what we have there. So it's the 3 white blocks, black, gray, and white. So this one here is the correct combination, if you will. Now what we need to do is set our active blocks here. Let's see, what are these? Always active and repeat. So what these basically are doing is monitoring our blocks here, and if they're equal, it does something. And then our other one here, we'll copy that one, put it there, and that one is just monitoring if they're not equal, then it does something, or in this case, changes it to error. So now if our pattern is correct, we can place another command block here and have it do something cool. We'll just do say you win or something like that. So now when we cycle through, when it gets the correct pattern, it activates our command block and says you win. And you could have this do anything you want. Open a door, play a sound, do something cool, so anything you want. So that is pretty much the basic way to set this up. So yeah. So anyway, hopefully this all makes sense, and if you have some sort of adventure map or an escape room map, you can utilize this block rotator to have your player enter in the code or something, and then it'll open a door, and you can even add clues around to what that pattern needs to be. And yeah, please leave any comments or questions in the comment section, and yeah, thanks for checking out the video.